In this video, we're going to give you another little sneak peek on this ReSpace function here inside EasyStone. I think you'll find that to be a really handy tool here in beta release 8. So let me show you a couple little projects that we're going to work on. We're going to come in here and we're going to choose our basic shape tool here in CoreDRAW, and we're just going to draw a real basic heart shape. And we're going to set our stone size to SS10. Come over here to the stone tab and add some stones. Now what we'll do is we'll go ahead and break our stones. And because we're working on a heart, we'll go ahead and delete half of it. We'll work on this one half, and then we'll come back over, flip it over, and make a whole heart again. Now we do need just half of this path, so we're going to double click on it. And I want to really show you some of the advanced tools here in EasyStone that really makes our life easier when we're manipulating paths and vectors and what have you. So the more you know about CoreDRAW, the easier it's going to be, obviously, for you to do your design work. But what we're going to do is just select these two nodes right here in the middle, come over here to the Editing tab and choose Break at Nodes. And what that will actually do is split that path in two for us. Now I'm just going to kind of do something random here. I'm just going to come in here and randomly select a few stones, and we're going to change those to SS6s. And then I'm going to randomly come in here and select a few stones and change those to 16s. Now remember, initially we started with 10s. So now we have this kind of configuration. And so what we can do is click on the path and come here to the ReSpace tool and let the software do the work. Now you can see the software has respaced those, so the spacing is even but tight. So what we'll do is we'll just come in here, pop out a few stones, select our path again, and hit that ReSpace function. And there you go. It's now all spaced evenly, and that space is enough for us to create a proper template. So what we could do then is we could come in here, we could go ahead and flip our heart over. We'll match these two stones up. See here, we'll add a weed box. We'll check for any overlapping stones. There's two. And there you have just a fun little design, really super simple. Just a few clicks of the mouse, and that ReSpace tool is pretty darn handy. Now, as cool as that was, there are other programs out there that have a similar function. There's only a couple that I know of, but where EasyStone really shines is what happens when you don't have a path. So this is where the software really shines. And so what we're going to do when you don't have a path to work with, let's just go ahead and drop out a stone. Okay, so now in this case, we don't have a path to work with, and we want the software to fill in that gap for us. So here's where the cool thing and this will happen a lot when you're doing rhinestone design, and I cannot begin to describe how much time this actually saves. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the start point. Either this stone or this stone has to be the start point. So we're going to select that, and we're going to hit Mark, Cut, Trim. And then we're going to select all the stones and hit ReSpace. And look at there. See how the software filled in that gap for us absolutely perfectly. And to me, that is super wicked, because the software can do it and do it so quickly, fill in that gap perfectly for us. So really handy function. Now there is another option I just want to show you. So remember, we picked a stone and we marked it. Well, in this case, we're not going to do that. In this case, we're going to select all of the stones, and then we're going to hold the shift key and click on this stone and then reselect it. Now what that does, that's kind of the way I like to do it, because I'm a bit more of a power user, if you will. And basically what that's telling EasyStone is the last stone that we selected is the start stone, where to begin the work. So that's what that does. But anyhow, if you hit ReSpace, you can see it does the exact same function. You get that perfect spacing around that curve, filled in the missing gap there for us automatically. So pretty fun to use that ReSpace function, and amazingly useful. We're going to have to create some additional videos to show you different scenarios where that ReSpace function is really going to come into play, because it is really going to be a really neat, handy function for you when you're doing your design work. So that's just a little sneak preview of that ReSpace tool. I know we've shown some of that before, but we just want to kind of overemphasize a little bit on how that ReSpace function works.